The Voynich Manuscript is an illustrated document unlike any other. Since its reported origins in the medieval ages, stories about the mystery of its secret language have become legendary. It is this overwhelming interest which has made it famous throughout its existence. So, what is the Voynich Manuscript, and what is the mystery all about? To address these crucial questions, we have to learn more about the book that many claim is the most mysterious ever written. Hello everyone, my name is Craig, host of Medieval to Modern. We feature fascinating information from civilization's medieval ages. After presenting another captivating episode of history, we will reveal the Medieval to Modern top 8 of intriguing facts about the Voynich Manuscript. Thank you for joining us today. To begin, we should look at the unique appearance of this intriguing book. Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library holds the only copy of the Voynich Manuscript, which was donated to it in 1969. This codex is 240 pages, measuring 24 centimeters by 16 centimeters. Speaking about its pages, it is estimated they were made from at least 14 full cow skins. These vellum pages contain hand-drawn images, which include both real and imagined plants, astrology, animals, and maps to strange lands. In all, there are 6 distinct sections within the book. They are botanical, astronomical, biological, cosmological, pharmaceutical, and recipes. The botanical section is the largest of them all. It is at this point one opens the Voynich Manuscript to read its unusual information. However, like thousands of others before, you can go no further. When one attempts to read the curious script within the book, they quickly become puzzled. Even if you knew every known language today, you still would not be able to read the written contents. Why, you may ask? Well, according to cryptologists, it has all the characteristics of a real language, though not one we have yet discovered. The text within the book consists of over 170,000 characters, written left to right. Letters and groups of letters, forming curious flowing script, appear with frequencies consistent with normal languages. These patterns do not appear random. Today, Voynichese is a term commonly used to name this unknown language. We would expect that looking at the history or provenance of the Voynich Manuscript would give valuable clues to help us understand this unique language, though the past is just as mysterious as these written words. To this day, the origins of the Voynich Manuscript are unknown. Recent tracings of the provenance suggest Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II gained possession of the book at the close of the 16th century. The monarch reportedly purchased the intriguing book for 600 Venetian ducats, or approximately 2 kilograms of gold. To back up this claim of ownership is the faded signature of Jacobus Horshysky de Tepenez on the manuscript's first page. Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II passed away while still owing money to this man, head of his botanical gardens. There is a strong possibility that the Voynich Manuscript was given to or taken by Mr. Tepenez as partial payment on this debt. In the 17th century, Georg Beresch, an alchemist from Prague, became the first confirmed owner of the Voynich Manuscript. He called it, start of quote, a certain riddle of the Sphinx, end quote, and that it had been, start of quote, taking up space uselessly in his library, end quote. Still, he was puzzled by its mystery. Therefore, during his investigations, he twice sent samples to Jesuit scholar Athanasius Kircher in Rome to help decipher its language. It is correspondence in a 1639 letter, which is the first known confirmation of the Voynich Manuscript's existence. Next, Jan Marek Marcy inherited the codex from Georg Beresch. He too tried to enlist Mr. Kircher's help by sending him this unusual book. Mr. Marcy also sent a cover letter in 1665, which attempted to explain the circumstances concerning this book's history. After his involvement, mention of the manuscript disappeared from any records for over 200 years. It is widely assumed that it remained with Mr. Kircher's correspondence in the library of Collegio Romano during this period. Around the year 1870, facing confiscation of church properties at the hands of the new Italian government, the manuscript was apparently transferred to the head of Collegio Romano's personal library. This is evidenced by his bookplate, which is still present on the codex. These personal books were not subject to confiscation. Then, the manuscript would have been transferred to Villa Mondragone in Frascati. This was a country palace that had been purchased by the Society of Jesus in 1866 and headquarters of the Jesuits' Ghislieri College. At this point, we shall introduce Wilfrid Voynich, who was born in Poland on November the 12th, 1865. He was a highly educated, multilingual antique bookseller who came across the codex at this same Jesuit college in Frascati during the year 1912. He was keenly interested in this book book, including the meanings behind its odd pictures and representations. After purchasing the book among 30 manuscripts from the cash-pressed operators of Ghislieri College, he eventually brought it to the United States. The Voynich Manuscript is named after him and has been intensely studied ever since. Mr. Voynich reintroduced this illustrated codex to the world. He tried to decipher its mysteries with the help of various people while he was alive, though they found no success. Of course, they were not the only ones to try. Many brilliant minds attempted to decode this mysterious language. Famous cryptologists like William Friedman, whose team cracked the Japanese purple cipher of World War II, tried and failed to solve the Voynich Manuscript. Alan Turing, known as the father of modern computer science, and the person who solved the German Enigma code in the Second World War, failed as well. Even artificial intelligence was used to try and solve the Voynich Manuscript in 2016. Unfortunately, it could not figure out at a reliable level what the code meant. Whether they were scholars, cryptologists, linguists, or any other discipline, those that have attempted to decode the Voynich Manuscript have met with no success to date. Perhaps if we knew who wrote this remarkable book, some progress could be made. Well, there are many suspected authors, both famous and infamous, over the years. Let us look at one of the most mentioned, the noted 13th century English philosopher and friar, Roger Bacon. After all, anyone could be possible. That is, until science comes into the picture. With carbon dating of the manuscript pages by researchers at the University of Arizona in 2009, the list of possible authors decreased. This includes Roger Bacon. Why? Their results dated the Voynich Manuscript between 1404 AD and 1438 AD. Roger Bacon passed away in 1292 AD. As of the time of this episode, the author or authors remain a mystery. Which leaves us with the serious question of whether there is a mystery to solve. After all, the manuscript may be a hoax and nothing more. Though is it that simple? To attempt an answer, let us ponder three key possibilities which are frequently mentioned. Is the Voynich Manuscript a hoax? Is it real, though written in a lost language? Or perhaps this codex was written in a constructed language, made to be read with an encyclopedia for an unknown dialect. First, we shall look at the hoax theory. Those that contend this was an elaborate prank often point to antique bookseller Mr. Voynich himself as the culprit, though the practicality of this contention makes it seem highly unlikely. Mr. Voynich would have purchased at least 240 blank sheets of century-old vellum paper to start this deception. Then he would have made these numerous intricate details and drawings without error. Let us not forget that even the inks and paints contained within the manuscript have been proven with modern techniques to be similar to those used during this carbon-dated medieval period. However, there is even more information to discredit this theory. It was during the year 2014 that researchers led by Diego Amancio at the University of Sao Paulo in Brazil used a complex networking model to analyze the codex. It showed similar linguistic patterns and systems in the Voynich Manuscript to known languages in 90% of cases, but they were still unable to break the code. In their view, the language in the Voynich Manuscript is not random or insignificant. Based on this research, it appears too complex for the codex to be a hoax, whether by Mr. Voynich or other assumed possibilities. The second common theory interested observers point to is that this manuscript may be written in an untraceable language, like the Rongo script of Easter Island. When their culture disappeared, all means of deciphering this language went away as well. We do know the written alphabet in the Voynich manuscript has not been seen anywhere else in the world. Though how can you prove it is an untraceable language? With no information available to reasonably discredit this theory, it remains a possibility. The third possible theory, often put forward, is that the Voynich manuscript is written in a constructed language like Esperanto. A constructed language is defined as a language whose grammar and vocabulary are consciously devised for some purpose. A constructed language may also be referred to as an artificial or invented language. It is not a naturally developed language. If this theory were proven correct, it would explain why Voynichese is not a code. In addition, there may be the need for an accompanying guide or manual to read Voynichese. If so, that particular documentation is now lost. Once more, this theory remains a possibility. Since many others have advanced their opinions over decades, here is my very humble view. Just like Nostradamus wrote his quatrains so that he would not be the subject of persecutions or heresy, I feel this illustrated codex may contain deep secrets that were meant to be passed on, including ancient, valuable information gathered from much older unknown documents. However, due to the time and place where the authors lived, it could not be made too obvious and place them in danger from authorities or religious organizations. Then, as time moved forward, the means to decipher this code were lost. It is the complex yet familiar look of this text which makes me believe there is a real immense value. Nostradamus was intuitive enough to write his quatrains in a language that would not be lost over time. Voynichese, if it was ever used, must have been a very exclusive language, or resonant at one time to a very specific geographical region. Oh yes, like many others state, I believe the Voynich Manuscript has more than one author, even if that means a separate person did the illustrations for the codex. Despite many claims over decades that the Voynich Manuscript has been solved, every one of them has been proven by the scientific and scholarly community not to answer this medieval riddle. That is why it continues to be named one of the most mysterious objects on Earth. As of the time of this episode, the Voynich Manuscript remains an unsolved book. Today, many wonder if we will ever be able to find out what secrets are within the Voynich Manuscript. Which brings us to that time at which we will share the Medieval to Modern Top 8 of intriguing facts about the Voynich Manuscript. As our viewers know, we believe knowledge is ageless as well as enjoyable. Now, we shall present them all for your learning pleasure. Number 1. At the time of this video, no one knows where the Voynich Manuscript originally came from. Number 2. Remarkably, the Voynich Manuscript was donated to Yale University after the owner at that time, antique bookseller Hans P. Krauss, could not find a buyer for it. Number 3. The Voynich Manuscript inspired a symphony which debuted at Yale University in 2017. Number 4. There are some indications the Voynich Manuscript could be missing some pages, adding even more to this mystery. Number 5. It is interesting to note there appears to be no corrections or errors in the main text of the Voynich Manuscript. Number 6. Studies conducted at Chicago's McCrone Research Institute on the Voynich Manuscript revealed that most of the ink in the codex was added not long after the carbon-dated time period. Number 7. The Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library at Yale University protects the Voynich Manuscript by securing it in a locked vault. Number 8. Each page in this codex contains text, mostly written in its unidentified language, though some pages have extraneous text in Latin. Thank you for supporting us at Medieval to Modern. Please be sure to watch our next weekly episode, or one shown at the end of this video. Also, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and spread the word about this channel so we can create more exciting content. I wish you good tidings, as we remember that sharing knowledge has been a noble deed throughout the ages.